Hi everyone, this is Marty Snyder, or Marty ForReal, here doing the first episode in a new series where I get to show energy to people that have never directly felt it before. What I like to do is work with people's hand chakras. This is completely contactless. This is all working with our own energies.
Yeah, that time it felt like you were pressing a ball in my hand, and I wanted to grab it. I felt like something went across my hand, and I actually looked at you just because I felt it. It's like I looked at you, and it's like you weren't even close.
I'm gonna stop there because we're pushing through a lot, but you just looked at me very oddly. So you're looking at me
My
like
fingertips are tingling.
Yeah, I can like show you this list now that we're done with the sessions.
You're shitting me. I was kind of a skeptic, but I came in with an open mind, and I'm leaving a believer.
Let's try to stop there. Should I close that channel there? Wow.
First my left hand twitched, and then my right hand kept twitching, and I felt sleepy.
So for this one, I'm actually going to step outside of the room.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I mean, I was 10 feet away that whole time. I had my hands just right here on my thighs.
Mm-hmm.
That was that was actually beyond what I was hoping would happen. I know I've done it a bunch of times with myself. It's not a technique that I get to use with other people very often. So you saw it was very similar, maybe even identical to what we were just doing. The only difference was I was farther away with my hands down.
Mm-hmm. It started out with, it felt like somebody was holding both my little fingers very lightly, and then everything started twitching.
Quick break there. And if you didn't feel anything just yet, that's okay. Oftentimes it takes the first 1, 2, sometimes even 3 times before we really start feeling it.
That's strange. It was almost like my arm got cold and sort of like pushing.
Really?
Yeah, the cold part was a little more vibrant. The pushing felt kind of light. Or not pushing so much as like holding. I don't know.
You were already feeling like a
it was
sensation coming from up here.
Yeah, it started like right before my shoulder and then moved down to my bicep. You ever taken like pre-workout? Like you can feel it coursing?
Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of similar to what it felt like. I don't know if it relates, but my chest got kind of tense. Definitely feel relaxed.
Let's stop there. We'll keep going because I see more. But talk on that.
So, I didn't experience the cold the first attempt. I didn't feel it in my chest this time, but there was like right about here, which is like a small little spot. I felt like tension's the best way I could explain it, but it's less like constricting, more like pushing. It's like, almost like you're doing that, which you're all the way over there, so I couldn't have been you. It's strange.
Interesting. It actually felt like a pressure.
Yeah. Instead of saying tension, I would say it felt like something was pushing, something else was pulling. That's probably more accurate.
Almost like a resistance.
Yeah.
And almost like maybe we were trying to pull against that.
Yeah, exactly.
So like one force trying to pull and another kind of trying to
Either pull back or keep it.
It's okay if you didn't feel as much or even anything there, but were you...
Maybe the tips of my fingers tingled. That was strange. It's just the tips though, not through here, just across the top.
You're feeling there.
That felt cold again.
It felt cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like noticeably different from before we started.
Yeah. Kind of like a breeze almost.
Okay.
Wasn't like an ice cube touched you. It's just like someone dropped something and you felt the air go by. It was real light. And it was only on the back of my hand, like right through here. And it's just like that little spot right there too. And the tips of my fingers too. That one was a little more vibrant than everything else, I would say. It was quick, but it was almost felt physical. someone did it to me, which I'm sitting there not being touched. So
Take a little break there. And again, the first time, totally okay if you like, didn't feel anything. But were you feeling any sensations there?
You know how when you get one blood vessel that seems to suddenly start pumping harder than the rest of them?
I think so.
Like, you know, if you hold your hand under your arm and it kind of cuts off the circulation and then all of a sudden your blood's pumping after you let go?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it felt like going on through this ring finger.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was almost like a pulsing.
Sensations during that time?
There was a couple more tweaks in that finger. This through here feels a little tingly, almost like a numb through my pinky and down through here.
And you were feeling that same sensation as well in your ring finger, just not quite as intense.
Not as much, not as many taps, if that's what you want to call it, because it was just almost like tapping.
Were you feeling any sensations there?
Almost felt like my pinky finger was being, almost like it was squeezed, and then like air across the back of my fingers there.
Interesting. So in that same like location that you were feeling sensations before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seems to be mainly through this area.
Yeah, we can keep going with the same hand there.
Okay.
I don't think there's too much that we're going to change.
That was weird when you were doing what you were doing, because it almost felt like, even though you were quite a bit of ways from me, it was almost like you were touching my bubble.
You're there. Oh, okay. That's good. No,
It's like a bubble, and you were just like.
I would high five you right now, but this is contact free.
It didn't feel like a physical touch. It just felt like there was a weight that was like almost felt like it was pushing my fingers just ever so slightly.
Wow, almost just like an air pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay if you weren't feeling like too much, or we're going.
Actually, it felt like something was pulling, but it only went to like to my wrist. I don't know, it was right through here, and then just kind of stopped. It could feel tingling, but it didn't feel like it was going through my hand. It just seemed to like right here, and just it was like there was something doing this, almost like a compression, just enough to like make it feel like someone was blocking an artery. You know, it just I don't know how to explain it.
Wow, that's almost like word for word. Like the experience. That's pretty incredible. And then the tingling as well.
Yeah.
It looks like they're still tingling a little bit.
The weird sensation was that like almost a pulse.
How was that feeling? Any sensations?
In the beginning, rather than the pulsing, it almost felt like a dragging. Instead of just this, it was more of a
Feel anything there?
that ring finger again. Was it tingling? And it almost felt like there was a pressure on this side, just kind of I don't know how else to describe it other than almost like it was pushing this way on my arm.
Just like an external like air pressure that was kind of just like, was it just kind of like sitting there, or was it trying to move
No,
out?
it felt like it was like going like this, but it was
Almost trying to like.
but it was this lower part of my arm.
Like how far off was that coming off of your arm that you could feel it?
I'd say like probably 3-4 inches.
Wow. And even that can be like hard to find words to describe. Like how do you describe like?
How do you describe air?
Yeah. Take a little break there. Yep.
That ring finger is just consistent, but this time instead of like a pulsing, it was almost like a fluttering. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Like, and then towards the end, it wasn't so much the back of my hand, it was more across, just like a breeze went by. It just, you could feel it at the tips of the fingers.
It felt like a very tangible, like breeze came
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
So I know there's like some of them, but there are a lot of the ones that like.
Yeah, I understand why you didn't want us to see that.
And yeah, the weight's falling off, and your shoulder feeling lighter. That was definitely was my experience on the left side.
You feel like a tangible kind of like weight falling off or being released.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent. But that's, I'm gonna show it to the camera real quick here too.
I can try to show it in each video. But yeah, these are a lot of the common things that people feel with energy work, but also with the energy work that I like to do, which is pulling out stuck energy from the hand chakras.
It's just really neat and interesting to actually feel those sensations and knowing that you're not touching us, so it's like not imagining it.
Right, exactly. And it's like there's no wind, there's no air conditioning, no fans. I'm like most times 3 to 5 feet away, a few feet away at least. And it's like repeatable, like it's very similar things that keep happening.
Probably never been in such a concentrated in the presence of such concentrated energy working on what you're working on.
So many times y'all described it as like actually like feeling that was like a physical sensation, like someone's actually like touching
That's
you
what-
or like.
And quite a few of them. That's what it was.
Yeah. That has definitely been an interesting sensation, especially for me, the ring finger constantly doing what it was doing, and that weird, almost like wearing the puffy mittens and you were touching.
Tangibly
Yeah.
feeling like a pressure and sensation. Maybe that came together. That's
That's still mind blowing.
That's one of those like, universe going like, hey. That's cool. Like really, I can't even imagine the odds. Like astronomical.
Yeah.
Like one in like billions. It's like,
Well, synchronicities is a big thing that goes on in my life all the time. It's just unbelievable. That was a little more of an extreme version, but
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I'm doing a quick video to talk about Marty and my experience with him and his energy work. So I am a massage therapist of 12 years. It's something I'm not really trained in, but I do understand energy and how it flows through our bodies and illnesses that can come from it and so forth. When we finally met up, we traded services, and he performed his very unique method of Reiki on me. I can say that I've had energy work done hundreds of times. I've had Reiki performed on me by masters, people that have been trained and have been doing it for years. I've had mixed experiences, sometimes profound, other times not so much. But I kind of always got the same results with every session, in one way or another. But when I had a session with Marty, it was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. He was very much in tune with what he was doing and in tune with me, which is something that I hadn't really experienced before. When he started performing his energy work on me, I felt as if I was having strings being pulled out of my body through my hands, through my fingers. So he just put his hand over mine. There was no contact at all, by the way, but he placed his hand over mine. I had my eyes closed, but I think he was making like a pulling motion. And my eyes were closed, and I could physically feel like strings were being pulled from my chest and out of my fingers. This was a very profound experience for me because I had been holding a lot in my chest, my throat chakra for one, but solar plexus and just heart chakra, this whole entire area, with some things that I'd been going through previous to that. But I really physically felt all of that being pulled out of my hand, which was very bizarre. And I couldn't stop smiling and laughing quietly to myself. But he took breaks, which also was very nice because it gave me a chance to process what had happened and kind of notice the difference in my body. Then he moved to the other side, and one second, sorry. He moved to the other side and he worked on my other hand, to which I also felt the same sensation of strings being pulled, but this time it was more in my solar plexus. When he was done with the session, I think it was 15 or 20 minutes altogether, I felt so light. I had never, maybe not never, but in a long time, I hadn't felt that light, as if this compression was taken off my chest. Like I didn't realize how much weight I had on me in a emotional sense, I guess. But when I was lying on the table, just kind of like acclimating to this new energy, this new lightness that I was feeling, I sat up, and the feeling that I had was that my energy, my aura, my energy field, whatever you want to call it, was filling the entire room. I no longer felt closed in and tight and stuffed up, congested, I guess. My energy always felt congested with, things that have just happened in life. And I no longer felt that. I really felt like I filled the room. And he even commented on that without me saying anything. He said that my aura, I don't know if he used the word bigger or saying that it filled the room, but whatever he said was exactly what I was feeling. And throughout the session, he was very kind. He was very aware of me and my comfort level, and he really approached it in such a gentle way, which was also incredible and not always the experience I had with energy work. But he took the time to sit and talk to me and talk through the new feelings I was having. And for about a week after, I felt so incredibly light and energetic. And I told everybody around me, people who have been searching for energy work here in the town that we live in, I recommended Marty to them because he really is the real deal. It's like nothing I'd ever experienced before. And yeah, he definitely deserves any kind of recognition, and he has a very special gift that I think needs to be shared with more people on a grander scale even. So that's what I have to say about Marty. Thank you.